Oh my gosh, give them their life back. I mean, imagine walking around with like your tendons and your face showing. You look super
I
scary.
love that they did that.
This one needs a shutter pineapple. I'm sorry. Like, I
If
can't.
she had
with you.
11s and horrible labial folds,
Right?
she would.
I don't like the word anti-aging, and I'm 14. Okay, well, guess what, honey? Look at what anti-aging's done for us. There you go. Hey everybody, I'm here with my skincare guru friend, Amber. Hi. How are you today?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good, thanks. We want to talk about some trends today and see what trends are going away and which ones are coming in.
Yeah.
What skincare trends are you seeing?
You know, it's really fun for me because it's something I'm really passionate about, but I find that a lot of people are really into their health more, understanding their like gut biome skin connection.
Yeah.
So for me, of course, I make skincare and I make amazing skincare, but it is really neat to see people getting like their allergies tested and seeing what their bodies do or
I just
don't
had that
like.
done, actually.
Isn't it fast?
Yeah.
Were you allergic to anything?
Some weird stuff like chicken.
Yeah, mine's chicken. That's really rare. Mine's chicken also.
I was like, I'm allergic to chicken?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
severely allergic to chicken, and I've never had it because I've been born and raised vegetarian. So they said had I eaten chicken my whole life, I probably would have an autoimmune disease. So if you have a mild one, your body's letting you know it doesn't like it. So yeah. Mine was duck eggs.
Oh,
Never had a duck egg in my life, but I'm severely allergic to duck eggs.
interesting. Well, good to know.
And mildly pineapple, which I do eat a lot of. So they say if I eat a lot of it, I'll trigger more allergies. So I can still have it, but just be thoughtful.
Yeah, that's what she said. It's thoughtful. Well, and I was allergic to fish too, so I was like, what am I supposed to eat?
Huh. All fish?
It was a lot of them.
Wow.
Weird, huh?
That is weird. Do you know your blood
Maybe
type?
that's what's wrong with me.
Do you know your blood type? Yeah.
A positive.
Okay, same. Wow. Well, we both
We're
possibly
sisters from other
I
misters.
know,
Hey!
we are. So, which A is, and that's another thing. People are finding their blood type. There's a lot of things to eat or avoid with your blood type.
Right.
And so
That's been a thing for a long time, I feel like. Especially with people that like want to lose weight and all that. They were doing all those blood type diets and all that.
and even in the skin, it shows up, and people are like have a rash or they have eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, and they just can't figure it out. Well, so much stuff comes internally. So
Totally.
I feel like internal vitamins for skin are going to be the next trending thing, especially probiotics. And of course, antioxidants. There's some new peptides and antioxidants. It's like you can't get enough of it. So this is interesting. I just have to tell you. So we did an IPL, which I already knew I was a fan. You made me fall in love with this all over again. I didn't even realize how much I loved it.
I still love it.
So I did the IPL on my chest first, which is like the best thing ever. Then we did my arms and my face.
Show one of your arms because you can see where it's kind of clearing.
I look like a burnt.
But wait, see that little spot though? You can kind of see where it's coming off on that arm,
Yeah.
like at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if
No,
people can
it's
see
fun.
that. Oh, lift it up high, I guess.
So I look like a tortilla, like a little burnt tortilla, and it's gonna even out. So it's so fun. But you also did my face, and I was fascinated that I hardly freckled on my face, but I use a ton of antioxidants.
Right.
And so I really got to see a difference even when you did my chest was where like I kind of end my routine is where I could see. So it was, for me, it was kind of a science project where I was like, I make something called Facial in a Bottle a Day. It's like my favorite product. It's a vitamin C serum.
Okay.
And it is 3 types of vitamin C. It's amazing. I've been using it forever. But I know that like I could see where I kind of stopped using that. I'm like, I'm gonna put that.
You have to
everywhere.
wipe your whole body with it now.
From now on, it's going on my arms, hands, chest, and face. But it's expensive, so I always kind of used it like to here.
Right.
And I can literally see where I did antioxidants.
Well, you can tell how much downtime somebody's going to have with an IPL or photofacial, we call them too, by how much sun damage they have on their face. So a lot of women have really beautiful faces, and then they'll be like like this crazy crocodile skin afterward.
Yeah. And I put cream on my chest my whole life. I just didn't do the expensive serums.
Got it.
So I feel like, and I did, I was so impressed with this. I'm just like the biggest fan. People always ask me, like, I love facials, but there's so many layers to doing that. And I always did my facial, or I did a peel and I was always in a hurry and didn't do my chest. And I kind of always knew it. In my mind, I just wish I could rewind time and just always make sure to include my face and chest in everything I do.
Well,
So,
that's true. That is what we want to do for
Yeah.
sure. Because it catches up. All of a sudden you go, why are my hands so old and my face looks younger? Or
remember my mom was obsessed with her hands?
I do remember your mom being obsessed with her hands. She had the first fat transfer to her hands I'd ever heard of.
Ever. 100% I know my mom. It was her idea. And she was obsessed with, she'd do anything to do, my mom used anything on her hands. It was such a thing. And I'm didn't do that.
Right.
Now
you're like, oh.
I did get I thought this was real smart. You ready? I got a, it's called a ceramic shield. It's like a SPF 90 or whatever on my car. And so I always knew my car had sunscreen in it. And so when I drove around, I never put sunscreen on my hand because that's how you age. So I was like, I got a cheat code. I think it definitely helped. But I do the UVs on my nails. And I'm like,
so weird. Sometimes I drive like this.
No, it's real. No, because I see people, I know what they do. And they've done pictures of people's hands, especially truck drivers.
Yeah.
The hand that's inside and the hand that, have you ever
We
seen
call
that?
it truck driver cancer, of course, yes.
It's like that one hand is just
jacked up.
Oh my God, from being in the sun. And so, yeah, no, it's, yeah.
Craziness, right? Yeah. Well, I think that on that kind of note too, of like trends that are going to happen in the medical side of that, I think we're going to start to see like your own collagen banking come. I think they're going to come up. I know that they're coming up with stuff because I've talked to a couple of different companies, but where they swab your mouth like as a younger person and you can bank it. It's not going to be cheap though. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I could imagine that that's going to be expensive. But then you can grow your own collagen and have it injected into your own face is what I think is going to be coming up in 2025. So
that is cool.
Whether it's going to be affordable or not in 2025, I don't know. Maybe that would be in 2030 or something, but that's on the horizon. I think that's super cool too. I really hope that there's some things that go away too. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, what do you think is like the one thing that's...
I am so tired of seeing people with those freaking fibroblast burns. Like those things are... Okay. They're just burns. I don't know. They just burn. I don't like plasma because it's a gas, right? So how does a gas burn evenly? I cannot wrap my whole head around that. And way back in the day when plasma first came out, probably 15 years ago, we had a rep that came in and did one of the girls' faces, and poor thing ended up on antibiotics for probably 3 or 4 weeks in bed. She had holes blown, like hot spots everywhere. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. It's gas. What are we doing? And now it's like these little pins, and I have all these patients with white white dots all over their eyes. And so for a few of them, I've been trying to like do like hardcore lasers to like make it all white on purpose to get rid of the brown. It's like purposely burning them to try to, to get that going on. So
those are polka dotty.
Weird looking. It's weird. I hope that thing goes. I hope all the do-it-yourself things go too. Like that pin goes like, boop.
The pin's hard. The dermaplaning. I mean, I have a couple girls. I have clients who their kids got dermaplanings on TikTok or whatever, and truly got it's the most bizarre thing. Triggered some really gnarly acne. Like that. I was like, there's no way this is from dermaplaning. But after like 5 people in like 1 month, I'm like, this is like they're just scraping all their dermis off and just.
It could be too that if they can be getting folliculitis if they're hairy too.
And one girl, it was just a weird, and she's probably using makeup on top. I don't know. She never brought her in for facials because I know I would have cleared her up, but she would send me pictures and I'm like, what? And this girl had the prettiest skin.
Isn't it weird when people send you pictures and then never show up for the like I have people with their consultations too, and I'm like,
you needed this.
I don't know why you're wasting my time.
Well, like just like you,
go about your business.
And I love
you're
this.
Not going to do it.
Just like when you said to me, like, Amber, we got to do your arms, like because they bothered me, and I was debating between a peel, which I love peels, and say no more. Like I'm like, okay, done. Like it's funny that I know, but I just needed to hear it. So when someone gets a consultation, we're telling you, like we know it's
what
like
to do.
Show
like,
up.
Yeah.
It's like we got you.
Right.
Especially if you know you've been doing this forever. It's like
forever. Yeah. Yes. In my sleep, I feel like, come on over. I'll tell you what to do.
Do you ever do treatments in your sleep?
Oh, girl, I have the weirdest memory too. If somebody calls me up and says, hey, you know that wrinkle I had on my upper lip? And I totally will know it. It's the weirdest thing. Like if you tell me something about your face without me even looking at you, like quiz me right now. Ask me something about your face that you hate. Try it and see if I know without looking at you.
My face. What do I hate?
If you would have said like, do you know something like that you don't like that I would know about your face that you think that
my acne scars.
Well, okay, you have acne scars just right here.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Yeah,
well, that's too easy. Okay, that didn't really show.
I know, but that's literally where they are, and they drive me nuts right there. They drive me nuts, And so
Well, maybe we should do some things to a little more exploration to fix those too, because
Yeah.
I love a good acne scar. Those are hard to treat, so I love them.
Oh no, and I remember we talked about Dr. Fulton. That was my dermatologist when I was younger. He was so great, and he was like, and he had such bad acne scars.
I remember him very well.
His whole goal, because I went there young, was like for me not to have acne scars. He just didn't want me to have to live with them. And I had stage 3 acne. I had the worst cystic
I did too, girl.
acne.
So bad.
I
Gross.
just, every single thing hurt. That's why I'm so sensitive to this. It just hurt. But oh my God, those extractions tore. They didn't. Back then, you just had to lay there and take it. By the way, she did extractions on me. That was fun.
Oh yeah. Look how nice your forehead looks.
Yeah. So we got some fun milia, but I mean he would just, and so I remember being so scared, and the only thing we had at the time was microdermabrasion. So I had a lot of those, and I think that really helped, just the surfacey, not the deeper
It breaks my
ones.
heart when I see kids with like really bad acne. If you guys have anybody with really bad acne, please come in. We can control the acne, but once they're scarred, it's forever. It's forever and ever. It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, when I see young teenagers with scarring, I'm like, why?
I have a girl for you that I love. I'm working on some probiotics. I'm going to give her, because I think a lot of it's internal. But her acne's gone. We'd have an acne boot camp. It's totally gone. But now she has a scarring. And it's real mild. It's just the redness. It's not the pit stuff. It's like the easy stuff.
So easy to treat.
Breezy.
Yeah.
So as you just said that loud, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have her mom book a consultation, because it's really easy once she's not there. It's brand new, clear,
Yeah.
She needs a few more weeks to calm down, but God, lasers, and there's so many good treatments.
There's so many good treatments, right? Well, let's take a peek at a couple of our videos that we have here.
Trend that needs to die is everyone looking the same / filler / Botox. And let me just, before you get upset, let me just get into this. If you get filler and Botox, if you want to get filler and Botox, if that's your thing, do your thing. If you ask me my opinion, not my thing. I haven't gotten any of these done, and I'm not gonna lie, I have thought about it. But to me, for one thing, the risk is higher than the reward.
Excuse me.
Recently, this scan came
Pause. You're perfect. You're 22 years old. I like how she thinks it's not her thing.
Yeah. You don't need it yet, honey.
Let's see in 15 years if it's
Yeah.
still not your thing, babe. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Recently, this scan came out of someone's face who had been getting filler over the years, and it turns out that filler doesn't dissolve the way we were kind of taught that it does. I was always at least told that filler just dissolves and your body metabolizes it. It's basically like natural. Your body creates hyaluronic acid and it'll just completely dissolve. But it turns out that might not necessarily be the whole picture, because the scan of this person's face, it just seems as though the filler has sort of migrated across their entire face. And for me, I don't want that. We've all seen the massive influx of lip filler, to be particular, and we know that filler migrates. And so we've seen the lips
Okay.
with filler
This
that's kind of
girl is
migrated
not even-
outside.
First of all, I hate when people talk out of their ass. You're so perfect. It's ridiculous. Like, that's a 10 in my mind, right?
She's gorgeous.
I mean, I don't want
I
that.
kind of want to look like her.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, let's talk about fillers migrating, right? Yes, fillers can migrate. It takes a lot for them to migrate, and a lot of times people have filler all over their face on purpose. So you don't know that necessarily migrated. What if that person had fillers all over their face on purpose?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not going to be from one syringe one time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like fillers get a bad rap, but I do think that with that, they're going to rebirth Sculptra. I mean, Sculptra's been around. So I've been injecting Sculptra, man, 15 plus years, and people think it's new now because it's a collagen stimulator.
Yeah.
So they like the idea of that over fillers. Well, I tell you, you can still get lumps and bumps from it. Actually, I'll tell you a really crazy story that I tried to fix this lady, and I was like, do I do it with Sculptra or what? She had 2 permanent threads right here, and it like created a bump. It was so crazy. It looked like a demon bumps, right? I was like, well, huge.
How did she get permanent?
Permanent threads. Somebody put permanent threads in
I
her.
didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, there are permanent threads.
Okay.
So I know I was on and on with her. Like, are you sure that theirs aren't going to go away? Are you sure that they aren't going to go away? So I was messing with it for over a year, and then like that inflammation like never really changed. It was crazy. Like So I really wanted to kind of like fill in here and fill in here. Well, it's super scary in the forehead, right? And if you're going to get complications to happen, it's usually in the forehead because it's just so vascular right there.
Yeah. There's no fat.
And a lot of people won't even inject the forehead, or like this is called the glabella.
Yeah.
So anyway, she comes in and I was like, oh man, that demon brow. And here I am again going, no one will touch her. No one wants anything to do with her. She's crying the whole 9 yards, right? I'm like, oh, girl. And it's such a danger zone. So I was trying to put like little droplets of Sculptra like in through here, like really diluted, and like with PRP too, so that you can't really get an occlusion with PRP because it's, you know, liquidy. So, and it's just your blood anyway. But anyway, so filling that out on her, trying to like make her forehead look flat from that. But
did it work?
Definitely took the demon look out. Let's put it that way. But now I'm like, things happen, right? So now I'm like, well, now we got to kind of do the temples too, so that the whole forehead looks more, but those two swollen spots are not going away. So crazy things with permanent things can have permanent problems.
And she can't go and surgically remove them? That's a whole nother...
She went and saw a surgeon, and he said that it's so enmeshed into like the muscle that they will never be able to find it to get it out. I know.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I know, isn't it just terrible? And then after that, nobody would put any filler there, and so she ended up with me, and I like convinced me, of course, where I'm like, am I being an idiot here? Going to be in like some lawsuit because I make somebody go blind because whatever. But anyway, I did it, and so just remember, permanent things can be so scary, but you never know too what people are really doing. I feel like you never really know. You know, when some people go, oh, I've had one syringe, and then you ultrasound their face and there's like filler everywhere. Nah, that's not true. So anyway, this girl half knows what she's talking about. I'll give her that. Yeah. You're beautiful though, so speak on. Yeah.
Trend number 3 that I think we should leave behind is like the 10-step skincare routine. And hear me out. I am a skincare junkie. I love a good skincare routine, skincare moment, but I've noticed a rise in popularity of these like very elaborate skincare routines where influencers use a ton of products. And don't get me wrong, I think having a wide variety of products.
There are people. The sad thing is, it's usually the teens. It's the littles that don't need all this stuff, and they put layers and layers and layers of stuff on. So I have
seen a couple newer teens coming in too with like chemical burns too, with the moms bring them in. I'm like, what are you doing on that beautiful skin? Yeah. No.
Yeah. Again, I could never do 10 steps. I'm so ADD.
I couldn't either.
And that's why, like facial, like our serum, like I said, the vitamin C we have, it's like 4 different types of. It's like 4 serums in one.
Oh,
it's like
you
can't, you know what I mean? It's
that's
like,
what you want to have.
And I just want.
I
like
have
this,
my thing of Retin-A right there. That's the one. If I schlock on my one thing,
night.
It'll always be Retin-A.
At night, though.
At night. Yeah, only at night. I have it by my toothpaste, just so that if I
was like, don't ever do that.
No, not in the daytime.
I've seen those burns. Those are gnarly.
This next trend that I want to talk about, I don't know if I'm going to be able to articulate it the way that I want to, but it's anti-aging and just using that saying in everything. I think this kind of ties back into my distaste for like filler and Botox. I think we're really villainizing aging as a society, and I don't know why. On the flip side,
sorry, you're too young and you're too cute to say anything about anti-aging. Shut your hole. This one needs a shut her pie hole. I'm sorry. Like, I can't.
If she had 11s and horrible labial folds,
right?
She would.
I don't like the word anti-aging, and I'm 14. Okay, well, guess what, honey? Look at what anti-aging's done for us. There you go. Yeah. Look at this picture. Hey, I'm all about anti-aging now, aren't you? Boom, boom, boom.
I agree.
Boom, hit it, Jen Aniston. Look at that sex pot. Girl, I ain't mad at you.
I think that was J-Lo. Was that J-Lo or Jennifer Aniston?
Oh.
Jennifer Aniston. Oh, it is. Oh,
I ain't mad at you, girl. Hey.
She's so cute.
And then look at this. These are 46-year-olds in the 50s.
Goodness. That's me.
Ooh, I'm sorry, but girl, anti-aging, we be doing good.
I'll take it.
I'll take the word anti-aging all day long, sister, and some filler too. Wow. No doubt about it.
That should be a post.
Right?
That's crazy.
That looks like grandma's today. That's 46.
Well, I look at, they show things like the Brady Bunch or like shows, and they show their age. And I forgot like the nanny on the Brady Bunch was like 45. And I was like, she looks so old to me. So old.
She was only 45?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
So, or even like.
She was like a grandma to them, I thought.
I watched something on TikTok or Instagram where they were posting all these people's ages and everyone looked so much older back then. So it was kind of crazy. She's so pretty. Can I just have her skin for a week?
know.
I'll give it back. I'll just borrow it for a week.
Yeah.
And her hair. Her eyes. So cute.
But she talks about too much nonsense.
Well, she
All right,
doesn't
go
know. I probably would have said that at 22.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, go walk around with some reptilian skin and then see what you think of anti-aging, boo.
I have been seeing more beauty brands include older women in their campaigns, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love to see it. I think these women are stunning. I never look at a woman who is older than me and I think, if only she was a little bit younger, she'd be beautiful. Like, no, I see them and I'm like, oh, gorgeous. I think aging is a beautiful thing. Everyone's gonna age. It's inevitable. It's a natural thing.
If she thinks any of these women haven't done anything, sister, wake yourself up, girl, please. If that's all a natural, all a natural is that other picture from the 50s.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is like done with anti-aging. Let's be real. Okay.
Yeah, that is true.
Right?
I think, acquiring years and wisdom, it's a beautiful thing, and I understand why it might be unpleasant for people or why people might not have that same outlook on it as me. I totally get it, but I just wish we would stop using so much of the anti-aging language. I understand wanting to take good care of your skin and wanting to prevent premature wrinkles and things like that. But yeah, I'm just kind of sick of this whole culture that's against aging. I just think it's weird.
So, I mean, lastly, I do want to talk about how things are maybe going from a lot of fillers, right? Where everybody had that pillowy kind of big face. And everybody did kind of end up looking the same because everybody wanted those lips, girl. Everyone wanted the same lips, the same lips, the same lips. And now it's definitely biostimulators, right? Although that's not really that new. It's not new to me. I'm sure maybe some people are like, oh, that's out there. But I think that they just rebrand it and redo it in different ways where it's great. So I'll tell you that Sculptra works amazingly. And I got to treat full-on AIDS patients with this probably 15 years ago, where I got all the product I wanted. Wow. So these guys might as well have had AIDS like tattooed across their forehead, because I mean, you could even see their tendons. I mean, it's craziness. And I was just like, I mean, I could squirt that.
They look so much better.
Oh my gosh, give them their life back. I mean, imagine walking around with like your tendons and your face showing. You look super scary.
I love that they did that.
Yeah, so they were doing these trials to see and then when I saw it working for that, man, I was like, oh yeah, daddy, it's coming down the pipeline. Actually, you guys want to hear a crazy Sculptra story? Yeah. Sculptra's going to hate this. So me being the genius that I think I am, right? I was like, oh my gosh. Well, they're using Sculptra for medical things, just like they used Botox for medical things, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought I was going to be a genius, and I bought the domain name Sculptra Aesthetic, girl. Boo, did I? Whoop, whoop. I beat Sculptra to it, right? So I'm like, I'm retiring. Duh. I couldn't believe it.
Did you sell it?
I was like doing backflips. Well, next thing I know, I get a lawsuit in the mail. Sculptra's suing me for the name.
They can't do that.
They can, because the FDA was forcing them to use that name.
But they have to buy it from you.
Long story short, the only way they don't have to buy it from you is if the FDA forces them to use it. So I got a big fat 0 for my geniusness.
That was very geniusness.
Wasn't it? I was like, oh man, I'm going to retire. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. And I was the biggest injector of Sculptra, I think, in the country at that time. And I was like, really? This is what you're going to do? The biggest injector of Sculptra? Like, I was like, oh, hell no. And I did not inject Sculptra for probably 5 years because I got an attorney and everything. And until they gave me that amount of product back for all that it cost me and all of my wounds to lick my wounds.
They took care of you.
Finally.
That's
but
good.
That Sappho at Venice was
that is crazy. So there's a company in Laguna Beach named Skincare by Elena.
Okay. And
she's a spa similar to me. Some of my clients, because I'm in Newport. A lot of my clients, if they couldn't see me, they would see her. So we kind of, I don't know if she knows me. I knew her, but her husband was this really genius guy, and he bought all the skincare names. And they had, if you ever go to Skincare by Elena, they have all these brands. I mean, every single brand you can imagine. They're kind of like the derm store before the derm store.
Okay.
And so if you're looking for something, I would tell people like,
go her.
on
Yeah.
her website. She probably has it because she had everything. Mind you, I have no website yet. I'm still really busy with facials. And my now ex-husband built websites for a living. And I go, and I knew other brands that they didn't have websites yet. She bought Epicurean. She owned Epicurean. She owned, oh my God, so many companies.
Oh.
And so she had to sell to everyone. And I just remember, because I knew we had some mutual friends, and I was just like, she's genius.
I ain't mad at the girl.
So
hey.
her facial rooms were so busy with online orders in the beginning. This is like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Sometime, that she was hardly doing facials, and she has just beds. And they say
Orders.
she'd have to move the stuff off the beds for facials because there's boxes everywhere. And I was just like, how do I do that? And my ex-husband could have told, I could have been her. I could have been you skincare by now. It took me way longer to get there. But I remember
Well, we just have to forecast what's coming up, and then what kind of things do we need to buy then?
The fact that you guys were so smart to do it. I remember finding some brands that didn't have, and I was like, let's buy it. But yeah.
Yeah. So
Never
anyway,
did.
it didn't work out so well for me though, thanks to the FDA, but whatever. Anyway, I got a big fat 0 for it. Yeah, I'm still a little
I
bitter,
almost
just
lost
a
my
little, though.
domain name the other day. So I have a couple different websites because I'm always trying to start ideas, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm turning them all off. And my one that's my actual domain name for Facial Lounge, I turned that off. And
Whoops.
they kept charging me, and I put it as fraud because I was mad because I'm like, why are they doing it? Which I never do very often. So come to find out, because it was a mistake, I almost lost it they could have sold it back to me because I get a ton of traffic on that website. So we bought it for 10 years, and we have it 10 years on the calendar, 2035.
Okay, you're like,
I am January 1st. I am
setting your clock.
setting my clock, and we will buy it again. But like companies can,
Oh, they
and
do
people
it.
stock
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It happened to Del Taco and Noggles.
Really?
I don't know if you guys, do you remember Noggles? No,
I know that name.
Do you
I
know
don't know.
Noggles? Anyone? Okay, so Noggles is the original Del Taco. It's like my favorite thing.
Okay.
And Noggles, the original owner, was in Orange County.
Oh.
And so Del Taco now is Noggles. And I don't know if you know, but Del Taco makes everything from scratch. I don't like any fast food, but Del Taco is actually the cleaner of all of them.
Okay.
And Ed still owns it. He's 90. If you ever drive to Barstow, the original owner of Del Taco
Good to know.
is named Ed. And
Hi,
he's
Ed.
the best. He sits there and cleans tables. You can take a picture with him. I love him. But he owned Noggles. And so Noggles became Del Taco, but the original Noggles recipes, someone stalked the page for years and waited to the day it got. Del Taco dropped the name Noggles. He bought it and owns it. So Del Taco lost it, and he got to buy the original. So he just opened a couple Noggles, which is the original Del Taco with the original. There is a Noggles at the Huntington
What a
Beach.
scammer, though. That pisses me off. I don't want to go to Noggles.
I know, but I was excited because Del Taco wouldn't bring back Noggles recipes. So for me, I was like, this is fun because they were like hoarding. They were like pushing the original Noggles down.
I
so
see.
like, I feel like it was.
All
to
right,
me,
I
it was
might
like-
try it.
It was a little bit, but there is a Noggles at Huntington Beach by the pier.
Okay.
And so they always kept that one going, and it's just a thing. There's
Okay.
one in Garden Grove. But
All right,
anyways,
good
yeah,
to
so
know.
they start a whole business off of it.
All right.
Nothing
Who would
to do
have
with
thought?
skincare, but keep your domain names.
Yes, keep the domain names. All right. Well, everybody, so let's get stimulated this year, right?
Yes.
And see what happens. And let's get rid of all the do-it-yourself things. Please be safe. And we want to hear your story. So bring it on down. Bye.